going to celebrate Baltimore Club and go-go music. And you know, we've been making fun of each other for years. First, we're going to get into a celebration of club music. But we got Musicians Paradise Band. This is a one-stop shop for entertainment in the Baltimore area. Everything you need, Musicians Paradise Band has it. So we're going to let them take us into a celebration of club music. Mr. Torreantoe Smalls is going to lead us.
As far as music, Frank Ski was one of the other ones. We know who Frank Ski is. He was one of the pioneers of Baltimore club music, more so on the DJ side, as far as hosting and getting people to really understand what the music was, as opposed to the DJ side of it. But still, he worked hand in hand with the DJs at the time. Another one, Miss Tony. We know who Miss Tony was, and that's the one. Miss Tony, say how you want to carry it. He gonna get into that. That club mix reached all the way to overseas. That club mix made okay. Scotty B, another Baltimore native, someone who came from this community in this area, and really served as pushing club music to where it stretched more so abroad, where it started to go to places like New York and of course Chicago, New Jersey. Rod Lee really became the person who everybody decided to go to as far as club music, asking questions, getting shows, booking performers, and that type of thing, because Rod Lee was being sought as being like club music god. If you can get to Rod Lee and he likes your stuff, you're gonna make it.
Never getting paid for a fool, now it's my turn to rule.
Club music normally happened at the end of the night, so we would get in trouble all the time for staying after 11, waiting for the club music to come down the tunnel. I ran from the tunnel plenty of times to get to McCullough homes before 12 o'clock.
Is that Utah Street?
Yep. By the early 90s, club music had already built up basically a cult following. Guys by the name of DJ Tamil. By distribution and word of mouth, handing out, you know, somebody would go to a different state and give them at the time they was using cassette tapes and stuff like that. They would give them a tape, and before you know it, it's being played in the club and people liking it, and it's stretched. Baltimore, as small as we are, we help really structure music and the music industry, because people know if we can become popular, or if people in Baltimore like us, we good. She said that. Go ahead, Shantae. Alright. Yes, ma'am.
Girl, don't waste my time.
By the 2000s, club music started to see a little rise and decline at certain times of popularity, and they dipped more to an underground sound. Very still prominent and relevant musically, just not so nationally known. More so Baltimore or DMV area still was rocking club music, some places in Chi, a little bit further north, maybe Jersey, but it still was really underground. Somebody by the name of Rod Lee, that name from where the start of club music, dipped into his excellent brain of club expertise and came up with this Dance My Pain Away. Everybody know that. But play a little bit.
Got it all today. What you think white people are saying? I'm just have to hope and pray. Rain, go away. The reaper winds just hit me. Can't get from A to B. Take things around me. You are emotional. I'm on my tippy toes. Face down, eyes closed. Dancing to the this melody, so please, you sing my song. Dance my pain away. I got problems. Dance my pain away. I got problems.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. 2000. I dedicated my 2000 to the Queen, K Swift, and she became the go-to in club music. And may her soul rest in peace. There were certain dances, club dances, you got to be in Baltimore to understand. I am too old to do that now, Mr. D. Can't do it. Do anybody know any of the old dances from club dances from 2000? So it's culture. Culture doesn't necessarily have a place. It's about the people who's, in these different neighborhoods and community that bring these different cultures from these different areas.
The culture can be in both places. I'm not changing who I am going from place to place. Some people like to represent where they from and they want to fight you. How people now is like, you don't live in the city. It's the line right here on the map. So let me tell you, how did these lines on the map get drawn? Somebody a long time ago, people a long time ago, who owned other people, drew lines so other people could know I own this right here and the people that go with it. And we still sticking to that kind of stuff now. So this event is something that let us come together and show we the same people. Musicians Paradise Band, this band is so banging that they can even back up the history of go-go. So you got a real treat. Anyway, Kato, Hammond, please come to the stage.
I was born in '65. So we're talking in the 70s, which is when go-go music was created. We talking about in this area here that I grew up in was basically a live band area. Everywhere you look, there were bands forming, and that was the difference. The schools made a big deal of having marching bands and having music in the schools. So that's how us kids had access to instruments. We couldn't afford instruments, but we got them from school. And we would take them home and we would form our own bands. And what was unheard of is to go into a neighborhood and not see a band somewhere, playing on the basketball court or on the playground. And it's like, yeah, I ain't got no band in this neighborhood. It didn't make sense. And it would be practicing in the basement of somebody's backyard. Or if they didn't live in the house, they lived in a building, they would have extension cord running from somebody's apartment. And they practicing in front of the building. And so that was the norm thing. So of course, the clubs and the party events are going to pick this up because this is what people like and what they're used to. Now, during that time also, in the black communities, we had what was called cabarets. But another name for the cabarets were go-go's. Smokey Robinson sang about it. Going to the go-go. You see what I'm saying? And what happened was, in the 70s, the DJ was getting more work. They started getting more work than the bands. And one of the main reasons is, because when a DJ is playing, he can keep you on the floor. These young ladies was up here partying, he could have kept them on the floor all night. So a group called the Soul Searchers, who was led by a man named Chuck Brown, he came up with an idea. His idea was to, instead of stopping one song, if he got the people on the floor, instead of stopping that song, they would immediately play the percussion to the next song. So what that's going on, what that does is the same thing that the DJ can do. It can keep the people on the floor. In the meantime, the guy on the mic, which happened to be Chuck Brown, can have conversation with the audience, because that's what we like to do. Whether you in church, the preacher gonna talk and the deacon say, yeah, preacher, say what you gonna say. They gonna conversate with each other. Those little percussive interludes, the people on the floor started wanting that more than they wanted the music. They was like, man, okay, I like this beat, because we as black people, we love beats. You see what I'm saying? It's those drums, man, been ours since Africa, and we feel it. So now, something that was just a few minutes, they said, well, we need to keep this going a little longer because they partying hard. And the next thing you know, those 2-minute interludes become 5-minute interludes, 10-minute interludes, 20-minute interludes. So people who don't understand go-go music, like, you know, earlier say, some people always say, why I sound like pots and pans. The reason because is they got that percussion going, and the crowd don't want you to go into the music yet. And they'll ask the crowd, are y'all tired yet? Hell no. Do y'all want us to play something? No, keep it where you at. So what happened now, you got all these new generation of kids coming up, and they're being attracted to Chuck Brown's style of playing. Matter of fact, at the time, I don't even think it was called go-go music. If you was playing and you was playing, hey man, you playing Chuck's groove. That's what they called it. You know what I'm saying? I think the name go-go adopted because the name of the event was go-go. So whenever you wanted to hear that music being played, it was being played at that event. So it just gave it the title of the music. So as the years come, then you had other groups, and they were young. Remember, we're young kids, and we're playing our instruments, and so you got these young guys like a group called Experience Unlimited. And the guy who led that band was named Sugar Bear. You know, Sugar Bear was a young guy. He was like in his late teens. And another group called Trouble Funk. And another group called Red Essence. Red Essence, when they made their first record, they were still in high school. A song called Body Moves. And it's probably one of the greatest songs they ever made. And they're still together 40 years later. One of Def Jam's first artists was the Junkyard Band. And when they grabbed the Junkyard Band and they put a record out called Sardines. But Salt and Pepper's first hit record was to a go-go beat. And that was My Mic Sounds Nice, check one. They just sampled it. Word them up. You can do it by yourself in the bass. My mic sounds nice. My mic sounds nice. My mic sounds nice. Go-go music is more about feel, but we play based on the circumstances. You see what I'm saying? A band plays every week, and no one show is ever the same, because it's always based on who's there, the conversations going on, and the percussion. Since we got the drums going, it's gonna go a little something like this. And this is the beat. Yeah, a little something like that. And just keeping that beat going. My hand is my metronome, so I can stay in the groove too, dude. Give me some of that bass. Let's say why. All right, that's how they do it. And then I'm gonna talk to you, right? And then I can get you on the floor, so you don't walk out the door. And I'm gonna have to give you some more. Good Lord. Yes, indeed. Come on. Say what now? And I might even throw a little rhyme in there. Say what now? They say that if your body is strong, your wind is long. When you get down, you can't do no wrong. Show you right. Shit, am I right? They say my body is strong, my wind is long. And when I get down, they can't do no wrong. Y'all don't even know what they playing, do you? Nah, yeah, keep on doing. Add a little flavor into this place, and y'all can say that y'all showed your face. Show you right. Say what? You know it, right? Then you feel like you've been let down. Then you go